Man, this is nice. Look at this, look at this. His and hers. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm living this. Bro, explain this red dot right here, bro. All right, this is the Rich and Unemployed podcast, and I'm your host, Jonathan Duberton, aka Finesse. And today we're doing something different, man. We outside, we in the field, we with Construction Kings, and the first two times we was together, we was in the studio, we was talking about it. But now we want to show you. We want to show you firsthand how it's done. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Introduce yourself for the people that haven't seen the first episode.
All right, my name is Kelly Parker. I go by KP the Builder.
My name is Gene Johnson. I go by Gino J, the Construction King.
And Construction Kings. So, where we at today, man? Where we at?
Man, we are in Atlanta, bro.
Uh-huh.
This area, this is actually called Ashview Heights. And if you know anything about Atlanta, this is one of the hottest neighborhoods.
Thank you, brother.
Y'all gonna turn it to an Airbnb?
Possibly.
Possibly Airbnb, yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, real.
For real. You from this neighborhood?
Yeah.
That what's up, bro?
On everything. Right. Let's go to the room.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Love everywhere.
Hey, that's real time. We ain't even gonna cut that. That's
Yeah.
real. That's real time.
Love everywhere.
So, all right, where we at, man? Explain to
Man,
me.
we are in Atlanta, man. If you know anything about Atlanta, Atlanta's hot right now. But the west side of Atlanta, everything west of downtown is super hot. From the West End to Mosley Park to Ashview Heights. We're actually in Ashview Heights right now. And the house that you see behind us was a house with no roof when we bought it. But we know what's going on in this area. We see the transition. And we are the ones that are out here setting trends in these neighborhoods, bro.
Right. Got anything for him?
Yeah, I mean the Construction Kings doesn't only build these type of houses. We show everybody who want to learn how to build these houses exactly how to do this. So the message behind what we do is we build buildings, and this is actually a project that we built with some students. So we'll get in and show you what's going on the inside.
All right, I want to show you these people the neighborhood because like this is like the only property really of its kind around here. So let's just walk. And you guys actually bought that property down there too, right?
Yeah, that was 1049 Parsons Street. That was the property I bought during COVID. I paid $80 for it. I had about 90 in it, and I sold it for $325. So it took about 6 months to knock that one out.
So like as you can see, right, if you look at these properties, all of them are like old fashioned. Probably built in what year you think? 50s. So basically what you guys do, y'all come in neighborhoods like these and basically buy the property, tear it down, start from scratch, just like you did this one right here. But why though?
Well, one, there's a big demand for new construction right now.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing about new construction, you can create your own inventory. Like, this is a one-of-a-kind house. It's
Yes,
easy
it is.
to renovate these houses and keep the same little feel and do some stuff to it. But when you can create your own inventory and you can start from scratch, you can actually create your own comps and create your own values. This house is appraised at $750,000. That's probably the highest appraisal right now in this neighborhood. That's why I say we create the opportunities, because if I sell this at $750, guess what? Everybody else's value has went up, and the person that comes behind me can do something creative to be able to push their price too.
Now, like, is it raising the price for everybody, like that doesn't have new construction, or is it just the new properties being built?
Everybody. Because now, if this house goes for $750, the value on every other house just went up.
Right.
Because if they renovate their house or if they do an addition on it, they're going to get a lot more money for it. So it raises the value for everybody, not just us.
So let's say, for instance, this house right here, right? Let's just say before you guys came, it was worth maybe 100, 120, something like that. Like you guys come in the neighborhood and starting new construction, what does it do to this property right here? As is, does it do anything?
As is, it definitely increases the value.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be renovated for the value to be increased if you're in a market or a neighborhood where everything's getting built up around you.
Yeah.
So I don't know the percentage-wise that it would increase, but it would definitely increase as far as the as-is value because now we have a new price per square foot right here to go off in this neighborhood.
Right.
So if they take into consideration to doing an addition or even a renovation, then they could pretty much pull in a higher price per square foot than a traditional, as-is home.
Right. Okay. Let's keep walking in, man. How long y'all think y'all gonna be done with it?
Well, right now we have the water quality that we're doing. That's why you see all the dirt and stuff dug up. We just passed that today. They're going to backfill all the trenches with the gravel, and then we'll start landscaping probably Saturday or Sunday.
Okay. But what is all this dirt right here? What is all this gravel?
So the gravel is for the trench. So anytime you're building a new house, you have to do water quality. Water quality in Atlanta, they're going to make you do a rain garden. They're going to make you do like a flow well. So over here is actually a rain garden. They made us dig a 8 feet wide by 3 feet hole deep. All of the gutters are connected to a PCP pipe. All of the gutters are connected to a PCP pipe.
Yeah.
And so when it rains, all the water drains into this rain garden. So we'll backfill this with gravel and it'll disperse the water throughout the property.
Okay. Now this property right here, right? Can you see that on camera?
Mm-hmm.
This is another property that y'all bought, right?
Yep.
Tell us about that.
So that house was it was a vacant house. It probably looked, much like this house here when we bought it. And like I said, we got that during COVID. And we didn't do much to the outside except the siding and paint. It was more of a cosmetic rehab. It was about a 6-month project. But that house there, man, it cleared, over $100,000 in profit in 6 months.
Construction Kings. All right, we can go through the property and show them some more. Today's episode is brought to you by Rich and Unemployed Clothing. Listen, have you guys checked out the website? Have you guys copped some merch? You can do so while watching this episode right now. So if you haven't done so, go ahead. It's right there at the bottom. Go ahead, click, go to the website, go ahead and copy some merch, man. We got these new hoodies in. We got headscarves in, we got hats, we got caps, we got the black and gold Rich and Unemployed cap. So make sure you guys tap in, grab some merch while watching this episode, because listen, we're giving it to you good. Wait, pause. All right, back to the episode. All right, we inside of the home. Break us down. How many square footage, how many rooms?
This house is roughly 2,500 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms. We got 1 room downstairs and it shares a bathroom.
Yeah.
So the idea was, whoever owns this house, they can have an office space, but it would be attached to a bathroom. And then of course any guests could use that bathroom.
Yeah.
One of the things we wanted to do was give it a grand entrance. So as you see, when you come in, that's 24 feet of ceiling height coming in, and it gives you the wow factor. And then by opening up the house, it's important for us to have that buyer be able to see everything that's inside the house. And the first thing you see is the ceiling height, and then you see this kitchen. And that ties everything in together and just gives that buyer that wow factor. Because it's all about creating the wow factor, and we want the homeowner to have an experience. Like think about your favorite hotel or your favorite spa. We want to put that type of stuff in our house.
Now, when it comes to like designing, like, are you creating this stuff, or are you reaching out to people like, okay, this is what I want, make it happen for me?
Yeah, we typically outsource. We have designers on our team because between him and I, you don't want us to really get into the design because it'll take our focus off of something else that deserves more attention. So anything that we could, push away to someone else to have design, then we'll do that. It comes along with multiple things because design isn't just as simple as picking out paint.
Yeah.
We're talking about cabinets, we're talking about cabinet hardware,
Yeah.
we're talking about accent wall, tile. It's a lot. And if we don't have the bandwidth to control that, then we'll put out a product that we may not be so happy with in the end.
Now, when it comes to like outsourcing that, like does that tie in the budget of the loan that you get for the house?
Yes, we typically put that in as part of the design aspect of the house. It may not be a specific line item that says, designer, but when we're considering our cabinets or our kitchen, we'll take into account our bathrooms, we'll take into account the design and at the price point that we're going to be selling the house. That'll dictate also how much money and emphasis that we're going to put in those areas.
Right.
Being that this house is, $750,000, $750,000, we put it in the budget that we need someone to come in and give us $1 million or 1.2 feel. So it's that wow factor. We don't want to give you 750 at 750.
Right.
We want to give you 1 million plus as far as design aspects.
Explain this kitchen, man, because this kitchen look really expensive, bro. What is this?
This is actually quartz. It's like a Calcutta.
Yeah.
Of course, white with the deep gray veins, and it's something our designer picked out. We wanted to do a double island because that double island gives you a lot of space. And then now, like, people don't really use dining rooms, the traditional dining room anymore. So the double island, man, you can seat a lot of people here comfortably. Of course, we got the white cabinets, but we went with a high gloss. Because everybody's been using shaker. And y'all stop using them shaker cabinets, man, and get on.
What's shaker? What does that mean?
It looks like a picture frame style cabinet finish. Like the door will have a box around it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Traditional style. And then it'll be white.
Yeah.
Flat white. It won't be as glossy as
Ain't cool.
modern as this.
Yeah.
Right.
And one thing about every house that we do, like whether it's the kitchen or the bathroom, we try to give you something you've never seen.
Yeah.
So we did the wood slats, they all custom on the island. Then we matched it on both of the wood slats on the vent hood. Then we matched them on the island, and then we stained it. But we knew we were using gold.
Yeah.
So we intentionally found that marble tile. Now just the marble tile alone was $2,000 for the tile. It's probably the most expensive thing in this house. The tile is almost more than the cabinet, believe it or not.
That's crazy.
But as you can see, it has the inlaid gold slats in between, and it really brings everything out because the black with the black coming in is how the contrast comes off the walls.
Wow. And how much do you think this kitchen total was?
This kitchen total, we probably, without the appliances, we probably have about 20 to 25 grand in this kitchen.
It looked way more expensive than that, bro. Way more expensive.
Yeah.
Gold finishes, bamboo type of situation. Dope. Now we gotta see the bathroom.
Yeah.
We gotta keep the camera rolling. We gotta walk through and see the bathroom upstairs, bro. Like that really put the icing on the cake. Man, this is nice. Look at this. His and hers. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm living this. Bro, explain this red dot right here, bro.
All right. So the designer, who was a male, actually paints his wife's toes this color, and this is exactly what he told me. This is the exact color that he painted his wife's toes. So he wanted to give an accent pop, which I find rather dope because with the black backdrop and this one red tile, it kind of gives you like a Prada feel, like the Prada logo.
Yeah.
And it just pops out and it works. Regardless of what inspired the red, it really works for this space.
I probably would have put it right here, I ain't gonna hold you. But it just looked just so abstract, just sitting right there.
Right, that's the beauty of it. It's not symmetrical at all. The entire bathroom is symmetrical. It looks like a mirror image. The 2 valves, shower heads, and spray nozzles. But that one tile, it draws your eyes to it. It makes you kind of appreciate all the craftsmanship, including the LED lights up here, the LED under the bench. I mean, this is just a beautiful bathroom. This bathroom, gives you like a spa feel. It's not the typical bathroom that you would find in this neighborhood, of course. So with all these little accents, it just makes everything work together.
Is this quartz or is it marble?
This is actually marble. Yeah.
And this is marble too? Because downstairs that's marble.
Yeah, this is black marble as well, like the tile backsplash.
How much this cost?
This bathroom, with the valves and everything, probably around $17,000.
$17,000 shower.
Yeah, shower.
Just a shower. Not even this, nothing.
Yeah. Now when we get to the vanity,
Yeah.
it's a total different story.
Show
Because it
me.
has marble as well, with these golden fixtures and these door pulls reminiscent of the door handles downstairs on the kitchen cabinets. And behind me is an LED inspired, not LED inspired, but an LED mirror that has a LED around the bezel. And yeah, just like that. Also has a defogger. So if you're taking a steamy shower, want to come out and get right without having to wipe the mirror down, just press this button before you go in there and it won't fog up. And if you notice with the LED mirror, we didn't necessarily need vanity lights. So what we did was put some pendant lights up, like this right here.
Y'all got this in all the bedrooms too.
Yeah.
This is dope.
Yeah, we used a lot of pendants in this house, and it's very luxurious. And if you notice, there's no paint in this bathroom at all. It's all luxury wallpaper, waterproof wallpaper.
Texture too.
So the texture's there, the look is there, just gives you a spotlight feel.
But this is a raindrop.
Yeah. look how the light that it throws.
Man, this is dope. You know?
Yeah.
Construction.
So of course the master deserves 2 vanities. We like to put double vanities in all our master and sometimes our Jack and Jills. So you never see one sink in anything that we do as far as the master bedroom is concerned.
Yeah. The key is just making it memorable. Like when you walk into this bathroom, when you see our kitchens, they're gonna always be memorable. You gotta be able to separate yourself from everybody else. And that's why we get the dopest designers we can find to create a product that ain't nobody else doing.
What's going on? I'm KP the Builder.
And I'm Gentrification Construction King.
And
We build buildings.
Have you guys ever wanted to get into real estate development or even investing, but didn't know where to start? Well, check this out. You're going to need 3 things when it comes to real estate investing. 1 is education. 2 is cash or capital. And 3 is credit. If you don't have all 3 of these things, at least get your education up. You can start with education. You're going to need cash or capital. You have to have cash or capital to get started on these projects. You're definitely going to need credit because with credit, it allows you to get loans to acquire these properties.
A lot of people are talking about buying back the block. We're teaching people and educating people on how to build their own block. If you want to learn more information, go check out our recent interview on the rich and unemployed. We're giving you all the game and a lot of good gems so you can get started now.
Fellas, man. Where the hell was that? No, so yeah, man, we was outside, man. We went through the neighborhood, man. We showed houses. We came inside. We showed the different finishes. We explained what you did with the property. Because when people watch this, man, it seems like it's like impossible. It seems like it's really, really hard to get in this industry, and I want you guys to explain like how easy it is, because you tell me all the time, like, man, this is easy, like this is like easy money. I want you to explain like how easy it is.
I mean, to us, everything pertaining to real estate seems easy because we have the education.
Yeah.
To anyone else that want to get into this space, they're intimidated,
Right.
mainly because they lack the education. So the easy part about real estate is gathering the education. But you have to gather the right education from the right sources, because there's a lot of sources out here that aren't really good sources, especially for new people who want to get into the building or investing in real estate. So I say just get that education up, and that'll make the process a lot easier. What do you say?
Yeah, and just to kind of piggyback off what he said, it is education. That's what everything is. It's all about your education, and it's all about taking action. It's just like, you got this podcast, and you had to figure out a lot of pieces.
Right.
But as you developed and grew and consistently working at it, everything you do get easier. Like, we didn't start out building brand new houses. Well, we started out buying houses for $5,000 and $10,000. That's how we cut our teeth.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of money. We made a lot of mistakes. But the losses actually were lessons. We learned from that. And that's why we teach people now, like, what not to do and how to do it. How to structure your deals and how to get the money. It's stuff that if I would have knew 5 years ago and 10 years ago, I would be a lot further ahead.
Right.
A lot of that stuff came through trial and error. So we helping people skip all of the mistakes and the trial and error so that they don't have that long learning curve like we did. Because if you know how to set your business up the right way, get business funding, and get your business bankable, you can get all the funds that you need. And once the education component is there, then you can start raising private money. You can find deals, you can put deals together. You know how to hire and manage subcontractors. You know what everything costs. So we help people start with no experience, help them learn how to get the money and structure the deals so they can hit the ground running and not have to go through all the stuff that we went through.
Right.
Well, we started with no money. Like, facing foreclosure, my wife was pregnant, living paycheck to paycheck. I was like 3-4 months behind on my car payment, having to park my car in the garage, scared the repo man was gonna come get me.
Yeah.
Like, I knew, like, back then when we started, bro, we didn't have no money.
Yeah.
So we can show people how to actually start with nothing and get there. Because that's how we started, with nothing.
People miss that part, right? When they see this, right, the finished product, man, they think, like, you didn't start out that way. Like, you're humble enough to say, like, bro, I was broke as hell, bro. Like, they was about to take my car. And there's a lot of people in that position, like, even when, like, with me, like, when they look at my podcast, like, damn, like, bro, like, his shit popping and, it's doing numbers, but, it didn't start off this way. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't start off with a lot of money. I didn't start off with a #1 podcast. And with anything, you have to start off with level 1. And you got to be able to not let fear set in. Because you look at this big house, you're like, man, ain't no way I could do that, bro. Like, how I'm gonna like buy a house for $20,000-$30,000 and then build it up, then cash out extra. This house worth $750,000. It's unbelievable, right? It's unimaginable to some people. And like you said too, it's a lot of gurus. There's a lot of people out here that's teaching this game, but a lot of people are not teaching it the right way. What makes you guys the go-to guys?
I mean, the track record, the history, the resume. What makes us different from a lot of people who are doing what we're doing is we give out the information. We started out giving out this information with our YouTube. Like, it's over 100 videos on there where we was just pumping information out, trying to educate the peers, because we understand that in order for us to grow as a whole, we all can't just harbor information. We got to share this information, because if I teach you something or I educate you on something and you pass that, we're paying it forward. So we're bringing up community as a whole. Slogan, like I keep reiterating, we build builders.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. Like, everyone around us, I mean, we can learn from people around us, regardless of what they're currently doing in their at that moment in their life. So if you just keep that mindset that everyone around you is teaching you something, then you'll go a lot further when it comes to everything that you do. You can't just be so uppity with the information that we have that we don't want to share it,
right,
or we don't want to take it, because there's people out here doing what we're doing and doing it on a grander scale. We're not opposed to networking with these people and doing that type of stuff, because we know that's what it's about.
Right.
So when we see new investors or people who want to start investing, and we know that they're lacking certain information, we have no problem giving them that information. Like, we know that some people have a career path that they later in life figured out that they don't want to travel down that road anymore, so they want to get into what we're doing, and that's why we created the Building Builders Academy, to teach these people, like, yo, listen, with the right education, you can get out here and do exactly what we're doing. Of course, you don't have to jump out and build, 4,000, 3,000 square foot house. You can jump out there and build, renovate or flip or do something similar to that. But the information is what is golden. So once you get this education and this information, You can just take it and multiply with it.
Man, for us, it ain't a competition. We look at it as a collaboration. The more we can help somebody else grow, the more we can grow.
Right.
Like, I made more money when I started collaborating with people than trying to do it all on my own. You know, when you try and do it all on your own, man, it's a lot of work. It's hard. You know, people say, well, how do y'all do, 40, 50 houses a year? Collaborations. Like, you collaborate with other people, and other people can bring other things that you don't have. Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's design, sometimes it's just taking the workload off your plate. But we have to figure out how to collaborate more and stop looking at everything as competition, because we can grow and do more together than we can try and do stuff on our own.
Just like you said earlier too, like we ain't got time for like to be designing. Like, let's just hire somebody else so we can take that time, delegate that time somewhere else.
Right.
Like, teamwork makes the dream work. Another question too, another thing I had to say, like, looking at us, right? We black, young, designer, shades, got money, like we chilling with our feet up, and like we living our life. And that's not common. Like, it's becoming more common now, but it was the other culture that was doing it. Like, now it's like it's about us. Like, now we in the game. Like, now we know the knowledge. Like, how has the game has changed? Like, this real estate game, like, is it how can I say? Is it for, man, how can I put this question without offending nobody?
I know what you're saying, bro, and it's not that the game has changed. We just learn more rules to the game by educating ourselves, because this game been this game since the beginning of real estate.
Right.
Like, people been buying and selling and building and flipping and renovating since, our grandparents was doing it, and they acquired property. But somewhere down the line, the education that they had when it came to home ownership didn't get passed on to the next generation. So we didn't see the value of that house. The 40 acres and a mule that we were promised, we never got. So it's up to us to go get it. We gotta get it. Like, nobody's gonna give us anything. The most that somebody can give you is an education and some good word. So if they tell you, if they tell you what to do, then you could either take it or leave it. It's up to you to put it to use. Like, we can't instill ambition. Like, you have to be born with it. You have to want it for yourself. So once you figure that out, you'll get off your ass and go get it. Like, it's a lot of people out here, like me and you, we like dancers at strip clubs. Those are some of the most ambitious people in the world.
Very ambitious. Because
they're doing what they gotta do to pay what they have to pay, like their lifestyle or whatever. So you gotta look at yourself. I heard an old man say this one time. What's the difference between somebody in the military and a stripper? They say it ain't no difference. Why? Because they both using their body to make money. So you got to think about it. Use what you got to get what you want. Get your education up. That way you have something that you can go get some money with. Like, it ain't always about, yo, I can do this and you can't do it. No, let's do this together, like you just said. It's important to have people around you that want the same thing for you. You can't be around somebody that's always plotting, always trying to get over on somebody. Nah, that ain't what you want to do. You want to put yourself in circles or squares or triangles or whatever you want to call it with people who push you, who educate you, who motivate you. You got that around you, then you're going to be all right.
Facts. Now, is this game oversaturated with so many people teaching the game, with so many gurus, so many people trying to learn? You guys taught hundreds of people. Is it oversaturated? Like, will this game will ever get to the point where, there's no more real estate?
No. It could be oversaturated with a lot of fake ass people teaching shit. Because there's some people teaching a lot of bullshit. Let's just be honest. And honestly, like, that was a hesitation of mine on teaching. Like, because I didn't want to be looked at as somebody teaching fake shit.
Right.
So we hesitated about doing stuff. because we didn't want to be categorized as people out there teaching fake shit. You know, one thing about real estate, you can go look up who owned what company and go see all the shit that somebody actually owns. So you can go check the tax records and see how much property we own and how much property we purchased and sold. You know, so no, it'll never get oversaturated. I started out as an agent. You know, I've been a #1 agent, sold over 2,000 houses. Kelly sold a lot of houses too. He was on the team. And we had a wholesale company. We did a lot of wholesale deals. We done did fix and flips. We done did everything you can think of when it comes to residential. Nobody was teaching new construction. So we decided to be the people that teach people how to build houses. Because when you can create your own inventory, it's something real special about that. You can go find land and you can actually change the makeup of a neighborhood. You know, because people always talk about, you know, gentrification and buying back the block. That's cool and you should do that. But when you can go out and build your own block and build your own communities, there's a lot of power in that. You know, and back before all these big builders back in the late 60s, early 70s started, you know, building subdivisions, people used to get their own land and build their own houses. And so we going back to teaching people how to actually build from the ground up. It's a lot of power in that, man. And real estate has always been and will always be one of the best ways to create wealth. But when you know how to actually build wealth and build your houses, it puts you in a whole nother category.
It's different.
You know, it's a 4 million home shortage right now. With interest rates high and inflation high, that shortage is going to get bigger. You know, there's a shortage in student housing. There's a shortage in affordable housing. And who do you think going to make the most money? It's always the people that can solve the problem. And when you can solve a problem by creating inventory, man, you're way ahead of the game.
Yeah. Talk about gentrification, right? You come into neighborhoods like this, and, you know, it seems like everybody's kind of like, you know, around the poverty line, right? Everybody's not making money. And you come in and build this nice house. Do you think people look at you like a little different? Like, man, damn, like they fucking up the hood, basically.
It's actually total opposite. When we come into these neighborhoods, the homeowners appreciate it. It's the renters that have an issue with it. And the reason being is we're driving up the property value. Therefore, their landlord or owner is going to drive up their rent.
Yeah.
And now they have a problem with it. But if they were to own any real estate in this neighborhood, they'll be appreciative of it, not only because the value of their home is increased and also the equity in their house is increased. True enough that taxes may go up, but you know, it's a pretty much even level. When your taxes go up, your equity usually goes up because the house is valued at more. So I hear that gentrification tossed around a lot. But again, it's usually affecting more people who rent than homeowners. Of course, your grandmother, or auntie, or uncle, someone may be up in age, and that price hits different because their taxes go up and they're on, you know, subsidized income or whatnot, and it affects them differently. But if we were as a people who really understood the true value of ownership, we would never sell our houses in the first place.
Right.
Because we can't buy back something that we haven't sold in the first place. We're one of the main reasons that gentrification is real is because we lack the education. We lack the information and the importance of ownership. So we'll sell these houses that no one wants because they're old and beat up. We'll sell them for under you know, market value. And then we get mad when people get them and who understand the value and, you know, fix them up, and now they're moving in the hood, and now we're looking back like, damn, I never knew that. It's because we lack the education. We're here to help solve that. We're here to educate people. Like, it's not always about getting that quick dollar, because you can get rich flipping houses and building houses, but you can get wealthy by holding on to them houses. Because the value is going to continue to grow with the house. Like, every 5 years, no matter where you're at in America, unless you're like in the middle of nowhere where you don't have any comps, everything is going up. Real estate always does this. It may drop, but it's right back. Give it 5 years. So if we get in that mindset that ownership is key, then we'll get a lot further in this real estate space.
When you see houses like this, does it motivate, for the people that you're teaching, right, and they're driving through trying to find cribs, and you see this one house, that stands out amongst these other houses, does it motivate you to find more property in this neighborhood? Or does it kind of like, let me stay away from this. Let me go find me a neighborhood that there's no new construction?
Pretty much motivation. And the reason being is, use this current house as an example. We've done several free pop-up events at this house throughout the building stage.
Yeah.
From when it had no roof and no back walls on it to the state it is now. And people will leave this house after they hear the appraised value of it and start looking for land around here immediately. Because they understand the value is in the land, it's not so much in the structure. So if we can boost the value of this plot itself, then that plot is worth more money. That house is worth more money, regardless of what it looks like. The value is in the land. The structure is a bonus. Now we're getting paid for price per square foot because we know we can go into areas like Buckhead and you can buy dirt up there for $400,000.
Yeah.
Shit, we bought dirt in Kirkwood for $400,000. We bought a tear down for $400,000. A house we had to pay another $11,000 to $15,000 to tear down the house to build on it because we know the value of that neighborhood and that actual land is worth over $1 million once we build a structure on it.
You bought dirt for $400,000.
$399,000. $399,000.
Oh, that's crazy.
To tear it down and build another $400,000 house on it, only for it to be appraised at $1.2 million. Most people who don't understand, I'm not buying that crap that I got to tear down for $400, but you don't understand values. If you did, you'll reconsider. And then another bonus to that deal was that it included the plans and permits. That right there saves us 5-6 months in payments.
How?
Because we can get the building immediately once we close on the house. Had we just bought the house without plans and permits, then we have to submit for the permits based on the plans whenever the architect finished those. So it just saves money like that.
Yeah, man, it's all motivation. Especially like when you see people that look like you doing it.
Yeah.
Like one thing about us and most of us that got some hustler in us that want to go get it, if you see somebody that look like you doing it, in your mind be like, okay, if he doing it, I could probably do it too.
Yeah, it's possible.
So we hoping that people can get a blueprint from what we doing so that they know it's possible. Because, bro, we grew up in a small town outside of Orlando, no money, and we moved up here to Atlanta to have a better life. And we saw real estate as that opportunity. And so if we can do it, anybody can do it, bro. You just got to have the right mindset and be willing to work and hustle. And find some good people that can mentor you that are actually doing it. Yeah. So you don't have that long learning curve and just take action. It's all about taking action, man.
One last question for Ali, because I got like a big following in like other cities, Houston, Chicago, New York. Now we're in Atlanta. Like for people that are watching, trying to get into it and they probably want to learn from you, like could you only teach people from this state, Georgia? Because every state has like they different rules, regulations.
Yeah, we got students all over the country. Yeah, because building a house is the same everywhere. Now you may have different codes in terms of what you can put in the house, and it may be a different process to get your permits. You may have certain guidelines, like in Florida, like your windows might have to be hurricane proof in your roof, but the process is the same. Once you get your permits, it's always site work and foundation. Then it's your framing, then it's your rough end and your dry end. So the process is the same. You just have to understand what codes you have to adhere to actually build that house. In terms of structuring your deals, they're the same. The way you find land is gonna pretty much be the same. So we're teaching people the core principles so that they have the foundation to actually get started in this space. And honestly, like when you start building houses, it's way more easier to build a new house than to go renovate some house that was built in the 50s and 60s. Because when you open up them walls, man, and you've seen HGTV, like it's a lot of stuff that you have to account for and deal with that you might not put in your budget. You know, when you're building a new house, after you get past the foundation stage, it's pretty much like putting together a puzzle. And you really have more control over your project and more control over your budget by building new houses versus, you know, renovating something that's, you know, 40, 50 years old. Like, that shit a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. And to piggyback off of him, I mean, the education is very important, especially to your viewers who want to get in touch with us or become a part of our program. They could visit our website. You know, we have workshops, we have the boot camps, we have free events, local free events. We just have a lot going on that we want to push out there.
Yeah.
You can visit theconstructionking.com for more information as far as getting in touch with Gene and myself. Like I said, we have these workshops coming up. We have an online academy, Building Builders Academy. You can also get some of that information from the Construction King. If you wanted to take a new construction course, you can do that on there as well. We just really out here trying to pump out this information, man.
It's about information. Yeah, I heard it, man. So listen, anybody can do it from any state. These guys are not drug dealers. I know they dripped out, you know what I'm saying? I know they look like they got some money, but nah, man, it's the new wave, man. Real estate, it don't matter what you do. Like, it ain't got to be just real estate, but you got to put your mind and grind to something. And if you got somebody that's going to teach you the game like these guys, man, I guess you got to tap in. So until we meet again, man, Rich Unemployed, the podcast, it's been dope.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
For sure.
Yeah.